So welcome back to my video, and in the previous video I have already shown you how to construct the circuit by using the motor circuit by using the L293D motor driver as seen in this Proteus interface here. So basically, if you don't construct this circuit yet, you can construct this circuit. You can pause this video and construct this circuit. This is if you want to use Proteus. If you want to use this Tinkercad or hardware, so you can follow these figures here. But if you have the module, for example the L293 module, you can follow this guideline here to construct to the Arduino. So basically, any methods that you use, you can use it. You can construct the circuit, complete the circuit, and then you can proceed with this video. So this is if you don't construct the circuit yet. If you don't know anything, or if you don't have any idea about this motor driver, so you please go back and watch the previous video, because I have already explained why we need to use this motor driver here. So again, if you don't know about the motor driver, watch that video first and then proceed with this video. If you already know about the motor driver, so let's directly proceed with the coding. So the coding here, as usual, all the basic configuration or basic variable declaration I have already done in this coding here, which I have already declared the enable pins, the in1 pins and in2 pins at the pin 4, 5 and 6. Yeah, so pin 4, 5 and 6. So this is enable pin, and then we have the in1 and in2. Yeah, so this will be declared in this first part here. And then in the board setup, as usual, we declare the output ports. So this is the output ports, which is we declare these 3 ports here as output, because it will control the motor later. So the first thing is, so since this is the same thing, that's why I did not rewrite it again. What I want to show in detail here is basically the first thing is we want to make the all the motor is turned off first. Yeah, because we don't want it directly to move when we start to run the coding, and therefore, as usual, we just use digital write. It is not a new coding, it's the same coding, but now we need to make sure the motor turn off. So for the motor to turn off, so basically we will follow this table here. So this table here shows how to turn off the motor. So it is either we make the enable pin low, or if the enable pin is high, so we need to make sure both the in1 and in2 to become low. So therefore it will stop, the motor will stop, or both must be high for the motor to stop. And that's why here I will write the in1 as high or low, it's up to you. So for this part here I will use low, so both in1 and in2 is low. So this is what we do. So again, I shown here both in1 and in2 low, it will stop. So here is the first one. We want to make sure when we run the coding, when we run the hardware, it's low first, it stop first. So maybe if you want to wait for a while, so that you can have sometimes to prepare or to stand by before it do anything, so you can just put delay here for 2 seconds, 1 second, it's up to you. This is not compulsory, again it is depending on your coding. So that is how to make it off. So now in this part here, we want to make it moving. So when we want to make it move, the first thing is this enable pin must be at least high. so that it can move, or at not low. As long as it is not low, then it can move, and therefore we need to enable this pin here. What we do is basically you can use either digital write or analog write, but here I will use analog write. Why? Because it can, if we use analog write, basically we can change the speed. So the enable one that I declare here, as the since it is analog write, so the value is between 0 to 255. So again, if I change this value here to any value between 0 to 255, so it will change the speed. So basically this is to change the speed of the motor. 255 means the maximum speed. So that's it. This is if you use analog write. If you use the digital write, then just use high here, enable 1 high. So that's it. This is the first thing, because we want to move the motor. And then the second thing is we want to start to move the motor. Let's say if we want to move in one direction first, the clockwise direction, for example. So we want to move clockwise first, clockwise. So what we need to see here, for the clockwise direction, the in1 and in2, the in1 must be low, the in2 must be high. So that is what we use. So here I just copy and paste. So basically low, and then into is high, from this. So low, high, so it will move to clockwise direction. So that's it. That is how we want to make it move. So let's say you want to make it move for about 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Again, this is all up to you. 4000 means it 4 seconds. It will keep moving up to 4 seconds, and then after 4 seconds we change. Now we change the direction, change the motor direction. So this is how we change the motor direction. So now for clockwise, low, in1 low, into high. So to change the direction to become anti-clockwise, now high, in1 is high, into is low. So let's just, as usual, copy and paste this, and change here to high, and here is low. That's it. So this is how we change the direction. And then if we want to stop the movement, as usual, just change both to become low or to become high. Anyone you can use. So either high or low, it will stop. So that's it. So this is how it does. So basically, maybe we just want to stop for a while, so maybe for just 1 second, and that's it. So now basically after 4 seconds it stop the motor. So this is how the coding are. It's just digital write, digital and analog write. Nothing new, just basically you need to know which ports you need to make it high, which port you need to make it low, in order to change the motor direction. And also if you want to change the speed, then make sure the enable is set as analog write, and the value you change it from 0 to 255. So again, 0 is turned off, so 0 is turned off, so the motor will stop. So when you increase the value, then the motor will moving slowly until it reach the maximum speed with 255 speed or beats here. Alright, so that's it. That's how the codings are. Nothing new. Now let's try to run the codes. Let's connect our circuit with the hardware, with the computer if you don't connect yet. And now let's try to upload this Arduino Uno COM4. So let's try to upload this coding. So now as you can see, it moved in one direction and then it changed direction, and then it stopped. So meaning that the coding is right. So if you want to change the speed, so you can change this part here, the enable ports here, into different value if you want to reduce the speed. But as you can see here, I did not put a battery yet, but it still move, because this motor can still move with the 5V power supply but not at maximum speed. So if you want to have a maximum speed, then you need to connect with the power supply, the 9V power supply. So let's try to connect this with the 9V power supply. So let's use this power supply. So as you can see, the speed here is at the maximum speed. It has a different speed than before. So this is why this power supply is important if you need to have the power, the motor to move at the maximum speed. So that is how we code the motor, or how we change the motor movement. And if you want to change the speed, as usual, just go to this, change this value here, any value between 0 to 255, and then after we change this, just re-upload again. So connect the power supply. So now we see here the movement is slightly slower than before. So that's it. So let's try to look at in a slower version with a slow motion video. So now it moved in one direction and then it changed direction and then it stopped. So one direction, change direction, and stop. Alright, so that's it. That's how it does. How it changed direction. So how it changed direction, how it can stop, and how we can change the speed of the motor. So this is to change the speed of the motor. This part here is to move it clockwise, anti-clockwise, and finally stop everything. So that's it. That is how the codings are. It doesn't have any new difficult coding. It's all is easy. So that's why I hope you all can do this, and hope you understand how to control the movement of the motor by using this motor driver, L293D motor driver here. And if you have if you don't have hardware, as usual, if you have Pro Tools, so just export compile binary in hex file, and then try to run this in the in this Pro Tools here. So make sure you load the correct hex file, and then we can try to run it. So as you can see, it moved one direction and then it moved to another direction, plus it become plus 182, and then it stopped. So it moved in one more direction, and then change direction and stop. So that's it. This is for the Pro Tools, and for this for this Tinkercad as usual, the same thing, but maybe Tinkercad you can't really see it because it just shows the movement of the gear there. So you can see, you can see based on the RPM value there. So it become positive, negative, and then change direction. So that's it. That is how we do this programming. Hope this help. It's a very simple programming, and because it is too simple, so I will leave you with this one challenge here, one exercise here as usual. So please try to do this exercise here because it will help you significantly for your project. So therefore try to do this exercise here, or this challenge here. As you can see here, we have the same circuit, but before this I did not use this button and also this potentiometer here. But in this challenge here, I want you to try to do this program where when I first click this button, then the motor will move in the counterclockwise movement, and then when we click the second time, it will move at the clockwise movement, and the third time then it will turn off. That's it. Easy. This challenge here is easy, but if you can do this, it will really helpful for you for your project. It will be really helpful for your tests too. It will be really helpful for your assessment, and therefore try to do this. This is the hint for the next assessment actually. So if you can do this, basically you can do the next assessment. So again, I show you one more time. The first click is counterclockwise, the second click will be the clockwise, and the third click will stop the motor. So that's it. That's what will be covered in this video. That is the only parts, basically. What the most important parts in this video is actually how to connect this motor and interface it with the Arduino. That's it. And then the coding is very simple. Just change the in1 and the in2 value. One will be high, one will be low, then it will move one direction, and if in1 is become low, in2 will become high, and it will change the direction. And if you want to change the speed, then just change the value of enable 1. Just use the analog right, change the PWM value, the duty cycle, from 0 until 255. The 255 is the maximum speed, 0 is stop. So basically if you want to have the speed in between, so just change it, and that's it. That is the only thing that is related to the motor. The others are the same coding, just like we have covered for the previous video. And also this button coding is also covered in the digital input, and also the bouncy the debounce effect of the button is also has been covered in the previous video. So if you still don't have idea or confused, so you can just refer back to that video, the previous video. I also will include all the links to that previous video down below so that you can easily access it later. And that's it. So as usual, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button down below, and any questions, any problems relating to this challenge here, this one challenge here, feel free to ask me, whether in the WhatsApp message or just comment down below. Anything, any problems that you face, please ask. Don't be shy, don't be afraid to ask me. And if you like to see more about Arduino, if you want to try to do more projects on the Arduino, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please consider yourself subscribing for this channel here. And That's it from me. Hope you learn a lot. Hope this video here is beneficial for you, especially for your future project or any of your project that you are currently working on. And that's it. Stay safe, stay curious, and stay joyful. My name is Ikhwan. May God bless you. Assalamualaikum.